As a matter of fact, it kind of moves us into our last set, and I'm just going to maybe ask two of these. They're kind of general theology questions that people had. We had some really good things here. I'm not going to be able to hit them all. We kind of touched on one that we had, which was a question about that issue of pain. So we're going to skip that. I'm going to ask this question and maybe give a brief answer, guys. Why be a Christian? I'm asking you.
Yeah, sure.
Or you.
I'll answer briefly because the benefits are many. Okay, why be a Christian? You guys, people are wired differently. I would say first because it's true, right? If Jesus really isn't who he said he was, if the resurrection didn't happen, then don't believe it. No matter how, how lovely the fantasy is, I want to believe things that are true, that accurately reflect reality. And I believe that Jesus really is who he said he was. I think he really can forgive my sin. I think I really need my sin forgiven. I think he really did rise from the dead. I really think he is coming again, like coming back to earth, and he's going to make everything the way it was always supposed to be. So there's all of that, right? I mean, so if it's accurate, then, well, that's huge. But in terms of like probably the question, maybe, well, I'm not sure. Maybe your question is kind of empirically, is this reliable? My answer is yes. If your question is, what are the benefits? Like what good things will accrue in your life if you trust him? Gosh, you could be a friend of God, that he would know you, that you could know him, that you would have unfettered access to the God who made the universe, that you can boldly approach his throne of grace with confidence, that when you have blown it huge, he will show you mercy. Some of you don't know, some of you do, but some of you may have experienced regret. Not like I missed a left turn, I got to do a U-turn, but I'm talking like aching pain that I can't take back that thing that I did. Regret is just a miserable, miserable, wretched thing. And if you know Christ, then he enters into your regret to bring forgiveness and love and mercy. We don't have time, so I won't go into any of the stories about when I've learned the need, when I've experienced regret, but I have. And so if you've ever been there, you need that, he gives you that. If you need purpose in life, to know, okay, why did he make the world? And do I have a role in it? Even what Leo was saying about how your life has changed from being in high school, like, I don't even know what to live for. I don't even want to live anymore. To find that he's given you a purpose to love and to serve and to help people and to engage in this other space of brokenness, to see the transformation in your life. That's incredible. Joy. Psalm 16 says that in your presence there is fullness of joy, eternal pleasures at your right hand. So if you want a life of meaning, if you want a life of joy, if you want somebody to love you in the midst of your regret, if you not just that you want all things to be happy, great, because it won't be. It's not come be a Christian, everything will be great, because there will be suffering in your life. But if you want someone to love you and to walk with you through the inevitable sufferings of life, and sadly, everything Brad said is true, there are dark days in your future. There really are. Now, mine didn't start till I was like 40. Like, I had a very great life. I'm 43, and the wheels started coming off about 3 years ago, sincerely. And it has been, for me, the last 6 months have been the darkest period of my life. It has been wretchedly, miserably, dreadfully hard. I mean, I have been sobbing, literally, this is a little humiliating, but sobbing on the floor of my shower like 3 months ago because everything was just breaking. My father just died of bone cancer. All this stuff, okay, and it just sucked. But mercifully, I can actually speak about it in a little bit in past tense, but through that, I had a companion who loved me and cares for me. So there's so many reasons. I'll pause there. You guys may have things you want to add to the list. Why follow Christ?
Why become a Christian? Why follow Christ? Very simple to me, because Jesus is incomparable. There's nobody like him. You know, I'm 47, a little older than Tim. I certainly haven't seen it all by any stretch of the imagination, but I haven't found anything in this world that even compares to knowing Jesus Christ. No one loves me like he loves me. No one accepts me like he accepts me. No one believes in me like he believes in me. No one is as faithful as he is faithful. A pastor friend tells a story about another pastor friend of his whose son, when he was about, I guess he was about halfway through college, give or take around 20. And he just said to his dad, after growing up in a pastor's home and being a Christian all of his life, he said, "Dad, I don't believe it anymore. I don't want it anymore. You know, I walked through the motions for 20 years, and I want to go out and see what the world has to offer." And his father, who was a pastor, was very courageous, looked at his son and he said, okay, son, you go ahead and do that. You do whatever you want. You overturn every stone. You look under, every rock, whatever it is. You try anything you want to try. And if you find anything better than Jesus, then you come back and tell me, and I'll believe it and I'll follow it too. And his son was like, well, okay, all right, thanks. And he left. And about 2 years later, he came back to his house. And he said, yeah, Dad, I actually came back into town, came to the church, went to his dad's office, first place he went. And he said, Dad, I went out and did what you told me to do. I tried everything I could imagine. Lots of pleasure, lots of this, lots of that, for about 2 years. And I realized that everything I had done, none of it compared to what I had learned about Jesus and the little bit that I truly experienced about Jesus prior to leaving. And he said, so I think you're right. I don't think there is anything better than Jesus in this world. And that's not my story. It's not how my life, but I believe it. I believe everything that guy said because he's right. To me, there is no one and nothing in this world that compares to Jesus Christ. And I encourage you, look around. Check it out. Check out whatever you want. Don't kill yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Don't make any permanent damage. But I don't think you'll find anything better than knowing Jesus Christ. I really don't.